In May of 2025, I started my own estate agency, and honestly, it's been one of the toughest things that I've done. I started a estate agency just over 12 years ago at a really big corporate firm, and quickly found out that's just not the environment that I need to work in. I just wasn't cut out for the corporate kind of stranglehold that they've got on everyone, and everything has to be done in a certain way. And I know the big companies do it to protect themselves, but after a short time at a big corporate company, I then joined a family-based estate agent in a town that I currently lived in, which went really well. And then before you know it, I started another company with a business partner. In May of 2025, I started my own estate agency. I wasn't new to the industry, but starting something from scratch again, completely on my own, was a really big, risky move. After 5 years, I had this previous company with a business partner, which was a household name in our local area. Like, we did take it to quite some level, but over time, things didn't work out. Business partnerships, like, no one talks enough about how hard business partnerships are. They're tough. They're tough. Like, even though you want the same goal, there's often two ways people can go about it, and you're going to disagree on things. Like, you take staff on, things get very difficult, and we had a climate where it was really, really busy, and then all of a sudden, the market dropped. The market really, really took a turn, and that's when things started getting really tough. It eventually reached a point where I thought, I can do this on my own. And that wasn't me being big-headed. I just knew that I had the capacity to do something and do it my way and move in my own direction. It was a really, really ballsy move after 5 years building up another company, and you spend the whole time thinking, oh, what are people gonna think? Oh, he's gone off on his own again, or oh, something must have happened, and you care what people think too much. Like, ultimately, now I'm over the moon with what's happened, but at the time, it was a huge, huge gamble. The risks that kind of took place is like, number one, reputation. Like, people in my local area, because we're quite localised, everyone is, all agents are, they've got a reputation locally. I had a reputation in my local area, and I didn't want that to be tarnished by the fact that I'd gone on my own. Like, even though they knew the other company was mine as well, but I didn't want them to think, oh, like something didn't go right, because actually it went superbly well, and it was only because of my drive and how I wanted to go in a different angle why I done what I done. Other risk was income. When you become an estate agent, especially if you're self-employed, like, even if you sell a house immediately, you don't get paid, even if you sell it straight away, for the length of the sale. So it's when the house completes that you actually have any money come in at all. So it's really, really tough. Like, I had really good friends around me and a good partner that supported me through this, but it was a hell of a gamble when you're paying for a mortgage, when you've got bills to pay, and everything else that's involved in life. Like, you still want to have fun, you still want to go on holiday. The other thing I was worried about was starting from zero, like starting from scratch. And although I did take over some houses from the previous company over to my new company, I was scared. Like, are people gonna trust it? Is it gonna work? Like, all these doubts were in my mind, but like, everyone kept saying to me, Will, do it, do it, do it. And I did take the plunge, and I done it. I had to think about what sort of brand that I wanted to look like, how I wanted to do things. There was lots of things within the industry that I didn't like already, which were implemented in the other company. There's things that I don't like in estate agency, where you've got contracted periods, where if you go on the market with an agent, they'll tie you into a 20-week contract. I won't do that. It's not my house. If the client's unhappy, they're free to leave the contract at any point. And for me, it just doesn't make sense tying someone into something that they're not happy with, because potentially you can get a bad reputation. The other thing from starting the branding from scratch is I am doing it on my own. So like, even like designing the logo, which mine is quite straightforward, Pye in Times New Roman, that is basically what it looks like but it was going through the colours of how I wanted the company to look and how I wanted to move forward, and will it go well with the time. Starting again from scratch, it's just me on my own. So if I go on holiday, like, who's gonna cover me? Like, what happens then if there's no time for sick days? Like, there's no such thing as sick days. Like, I have rarely taken any days off since I've been self-employed at all. And the only time I would is if I had like one appointment in the day that I could get away with cancelling. The majority of the time, it's just not like that. There is viewings from the start of the day to the end of the day, or valuations or photos that need to be done. The reality is it's really tough, long hours. Like you get in, you finally finish for your day, you have your dinner in the evening, but you've got houses to get live, and tomorrow the diary's full. Like people are not gonna wait around for you. Like you need to just have the motivation to go get your head down, get your laptop open and put the property online, but make sure it looks class. When you start your own estate agency, you learn very quickly that you're not an estate agent anymore. It's not just estate agency, it's running a company, it's being the photographer, it's being the negotiator, it's being all these other things. Like I'm useless when it comes to anything involved with tax or what's the best way to actually run a company, but I can sell houses and I know what I'm doing there. So I've had to adapt very quickly, like what licensing do I need? What do I need to do? Like no one tells you, there's not a guidebook of like, this is what you do. Like step 1, register this. There's not many sites out there or anything really that tells people this is what you have to do. Even when joining Rightmove, it's a pain in the bum. It's absolutely awful. You've got to wait for your corporation UTR number, which takes up to, well, whenever HMRC want to get round to it. But they say it takes 3 weeks. It doesn't, it's always late. And like, Rightmove will not put you live until you've got that bit to then apply for the anti-money laundering thing that you need. So even then, I can't even think what it's called. It's a HMRC anti-money laundering regulations guide. Like you have to have that, and then you can then get your estate agency live on Rightmove. Like that's just one portal, that's just one thing. You've got so much to worry about. Like you've got to get a good CRM, you've got to have a website, you've got to go through so much, phone lines, you name it, you've got to do it. So more of the reality is, like, even I remember when a couple of months back, I started in May, there was supposed to be my first house was sort of completing in the early part of July, and a couple didn't make it, a couple fell through. So all that time that was wasted, like deals being made, going through the solicitor's process, and right near the very end, the whole deal collapsing. Like that's money that you think you're gonna get, and it's not in yet. So one of the big, it's also been a real challenge being a father of now 2 and doing a house renovation, as well as doing all the business. It's just tough. Like no one talks about how hard it is to actually run a business. Everyone sees, oh, all the good, lovely Instagram, look at this, oh, everything looks perfect. This is why I'm doing the YouTube, because I want to show people the actual reality behind it. It's not as easy as people think it is, because if not, everyone would be doing it. Everyone would be an estate agent. Everyone would go out into whatever field of work that they want to do. Ultimately, hard work wins, like over and over and over again. I'm not particularly smart, but I will give it a go and I will give it my all. Now, back to the positives. Like, I'm over the moon with how my estate agency's going. Like, I've sold a phenomenal amount of houses in a short space of time. I've got plenty of new houses going on. Word is getting around. The majority of what I do comes from social media or through recommendations. So people are seeing it, people are talking about it. It goes so far. Like I'm over the moon. I'm really chuffed with how it's begun, but like there's ways that I want to grow as the business gets bigger, which is unusual to most agents. But ultimately, like at the minute, I feel like I'm dealing with it well. Like I've got a capacity for maybe slightly more, but I am keeping up with absolutely everything. And that includes my family life. And lastly, why I started YouTube. Like, there was an agent locally to me that commented on a question on Instagram to say, your YouTube is tragic. Do you know what? It is. I'm not very good at storytelling. I'm a bit different, but I'm trying something different. I've got a really good following on Instagram, but I want to now convert that over to YouTube because I want to show a little bit more of the insights, not just, oh, look at this lovely house, look at this lovely house. I want to show people the realities of the day in the life, because there is people out there who are interested in becoming an estate agent and they don't really know what the reality is. They don't understand of, like, you're doing long days, you're dealing with people at their worst. Like during a house sale, it's not as easy as people think. People get very emotional. Like even my closest friends, actually I'm gonna out them on the video. Danny Milne, you're a pain in my bottom. I love you, but that's what I'm talking about. He's a good friend of mine. Sale was going through and it was going wrong. And people throw their toys at the pram. It's just what happens. And you are dealing with people at their worst. That's why I want to show the reality, and that's why I'm doing the YouTube. So if you're interested in this journey of what I'm doing with my YouTube channel and with my estate agency, make sure to subscribe and have a look at my other socials. It's all on there for the world to see. I'm quite transparent, and if you've got any questions, pop me a message. But that wraps it up.